I'd like to start from the line Kufna Mumvov, the line begins with the Israel, which is 6 lines from the top. The reason I want to start there because this is where the avoided aspect of what we learned is being brought forth. What is the result of all that truth that you possess? What do you do with it? The line begins B'Yisrael. And this is the end of the phrase that says that there is a koyach b'chin mesiras kiddush Hashem. Kiddush Hashem. Let's understand the principle of Kiddush Hashem for a moment. There are principles that a person understands internal to his own seichel. That which he understands internal to his own seichel to him is absolute reality. As the expression, this is the way I see it. And I see it because I'm being honest. This is the way I see it, my neshama. This is the way I as a human being see this. Then there's an aspect like really baffling. One goes on Kiddush Hashem. Now, that which I know internal to myself, I know it because I'm alive. Because I have a neshama that throbs in me and reveals and tells me what it sees. When you go on Kiddush Hashem, you bypass this entire view, this entire conviction, this entire experience. You say that there is something completely beyond my personal experience. You're giving your life up for this, which means that your life is not fully comprehending this in. Which is something beyond your own life. How does one get to know and to relate to this level, this dimension? This is something that you know, but it remains always external to yourself. It is beyond that which you can comprehend and understand. It is not something which you internally recognize and understand. This is why, as an infant Kiddush Hashem, your life has, you actually give up your life. Which means this is something external and superior to you. How does one get to know this? You cannot get to know it by personal conviction, by personal experience. It is beyond that. Because as long as it's a personal experience, you have to have your experience in order to be convinced of it. If you give it up, you give up the experience, you give your own neshama, then you lose the whole thing. And here we say that there's an aspect that's called Kiddush Hashem. Kiddush Hashem is an element in the neshama. How can the neshama have an element of Kiddush Hashem, of giving itself up, where this neshama is the source of all its knowledge? And this is what the Rebbe is explaining to us. After the explanation, the only way for us to accept this explanation is to dig deeper into our own seichel, our own neshama, our own life element. To recognize, the Rebbe explains that this Kiddush Hashem element is something which comes to us from a source higher than our own life. It is something that's being taught to us, shown to us, given to us. It is not something that the neshama itself can fully comprehend. Since that this is something which is given to us, that means that we, the neshama, has to kind of acquiesce and relate to something which is given to us from outside, from a different source. And it has to accept it in a manner, to the extent that it accepts it fully. It functions according to those principles rather than its own principles. Kiddush Hashem. It gives its own life up. Now, if the neshama is capable of receiving something that is higher than its own orientation, its own self-identity, which is the deepest part of the neshama itself, here we really need to understand, focus on. That means that the neshama, internal to itself, its own self-identity, its own self-reality, conviction that I am here, it speaks from a perspective that I'm here because a higher thing brought me to be. I'm not here because I'm here. I'm here due to the principle that brought me here. That principle is who I truly am. Because that principle is what brought me to be. This is my shoresh. This is the basis of my being. We discussed the meaning of shoresh quite extensively. This is the basis of my being. My being is not personal experience, personal value, greatness and so on, whatever it is, as great as that experience can be. This is not what I am, but I am as a presence. I am that which made me. I am greater than I am, than myself. I am that which made me. As great as that which made me, that's what I am. This is why there's a possibility in the neshama. Excuse me. We discussed the other day, again we spent really time on this, understand the principle of shoyrish. Shoyrish does not mean only where it comes from. Shoyrish is that which justified its continued existence. Shoyrish is that which says, oh yeah, it makes sense that you were here because you possess an element of that source. The neshama is fully cognizant on the basis of self-identity of its shoyrish. The neshama is not, so to speak, capable of saying, who cares where I come from? I'm enjoying my life over here. This is not a neshama perception. I don't know if I need to discuss this any further. This is a clear thing. If needed, it's needed, we'll discuss it.
It does seem like the neshama was unwilling to even...
Here we are. Yeah, right.
Not really eager and willing to come down into this world. So it's not really that surprising that it's ready to return home. But... Right? I mean, part of...
No, not right. Not right. And I understand where you're coming from.
I mean, it's not the guf, it's not a metzius b'fnei atzmo. It wants to rise up. Seems more of a miracle even that it stays here. To any extent.
Wow. All right. Leave it to Shlomo Yenis, and you won't leave one pebble unturd. Please understand.
That's a pretty good compliment.
Okay.
The neshama,
I'll take it as that.
the neshama is brought into the world by divine edict, by divine command. This divine command, just as we said in the principle of shoyrish. Shoyrish means the root. The earth is the shoyrish of the tree. And the tree becomes an entity unto itself. No. The tree continues to relate to the earth. Continue to be representative of earth. Let me express it in the most shocking manner. Take a tree up to Mars. You won't like it. You won't like it. The tree itself will protest. What are you taking? You're very grown. You're very stunned on your own. I'll provide you with the water over there. I'll provide you with the minerals. It says, I don't want it. This is not who I am. I'm a tree from the earth. The neshamas were sent into this world. The shoirish, the command that sends them, goes along with them. This is part of who they are. Therefore, their compliment for the fact that they are embraced by the command that brought them here. I'll take a grocery example. We have elections for all kinds of different offices, government offices. Once the elections are counted up, all done, this person is declared as a president, this is vice president, this is a, whatever, everyone acquires his position. After they acquire the position, are they now divorced from the fact that the people elected them? If they divorce themselves from that, from the election, they have no place to stand on. The whole material is unreal. I'm president, I'm only president.
The point being that
Certainly?
the neshama is on a mission here, so therefore
Its mission, this mission is what makes it be, what makes it, what gives it its greatness.
right. So right, how does that address what was asked, namely that its real home is up above, and hence it's not such a wonder that it would return there quite willingly when circumstance demands it, or when it sees the mission.
We're missing a very important point. Again, let's go back to the elections. You were elected as president. Now you are president. The fact that you are president, does that stand on its own, or is it still dependent on the fact that it's still not dependent, representing the fact that there were elections and all the people that voted for you?
So fine, the president, his position is based on the election, so therefore?
Not based. It represents the elections.
Right, so therefore?
In other words, I'm here because the people want me to be
Yes.
here. And that is the basis of my strength.
Yes, and thus?
And it continues to be the basis of my strength. As if they're voting for me. The neshama likewise. The neshama, yes, it becomes a mitzias.
It does?
Yes, it's created. Yes, it becomes a mitzias. But this mitzias is representative of what made it. For what purpose? The Mitzvah, the neshama has a mission. This is part and parcel of its being.
When we
This mission
Yeah.
is what relates it to its own source.
Fine, it did seem like come the moment of Mesiras Nefesh, there is the command that your mission is now done here. You are moving on. You're moving back. That's
No,
seems like
no,
that's the
no,
nature
no,
of
no.
what.
You're oversimplifying. That's not true. Not true.
Well, it's not going against its mission.
No. It's going against its mission.
It is.
Yes, it's giving up its mission in order to sanctify, to go higher, to sanctify Hashem's name.
For a higher purpose.
Not a high purpose. It's taken away from him. taken away from him. The Gemara tells the following story.
It's taken what? What did you say?
Its mission, its life is being taken away from him. Let's give it a shot. Okay,
I don't know what that.
we listen to me. We are oversimplifying this. There's no way to oversimplify this. The Gemara tells the following story. I remember Namoira Taina became very sick. These were super tzaddikim, I have to tell you. And the Gemara says that Yisurim purified the neshama. Everybody knows what Yisurim means. So he was very sick. So the other one came to visit him.
Cool. Okay.
He came to one of his colleagues came to visit him. He sees how tortured he is in his state, in sickness. So he asked him, "Are you pleased with the Yisurim? Chabibi and Rachel Yisurim." Everybody knows the translation of the word. Chabib means it's pleasing. You like Chabibi and Rachel Yisurim. So he said to him, "Lo yehein v'lo yischor." That's quite a statement.
Without them, there's no reward.
No. Lo yehein. I don't want the shooting, and I don't want the reward that comes with it.
Oh.
So he said to him, "Give me your hand." Took his hand and he picked him up from his sickness. Brought him out of his sickness. Several instances like this. Now, we're talking about tzaddikim who accept the Yisurim, as the Rambam expresses when he says, this comes from the Eibush, I accept it wholeheartedly. It's part of my avoid. If I should complain to God, this would be ridiculous. And yet, he says, Lo yehein v'lo yischor. In other words, we have to understand these principles from a high perspective, a rounded manner. We can't flatten it out and take it and oversimplify it. Yeah, they want Yisurim, so they want Yisurim. No, this is much misunderstanding. This is, I agree, that this is beyond that which Seichel can actually identify. This is not a Seichel thing. Two things in the same mouth, and two sides of the mouth, and he's saying the same, two opposite things. And it's a truthful person. To the extent that his colleague asked him, "Are you pleased with the Yisurim? Do you want the Yisurim?" He says, "No way." A moment into the point says, "Yisurim are memarik the nefesh." Memarik, a cleansing in the shoulder. Memarik, a cleansing. Who doesn't want to cleanse the shoulder? So Mesiras Nefesh, Al Kiddush Hashem, is a real experience of Mesiras Nefesh. This is, okay, let me interject here something where all this debate comes from. There is a neshama world, there's a world of truth, and there is the Gashmic world, which is all one big lie. There is Messias Nefesh, quote unquote, within a worldly context. In the olden days, there were duels. Everyone knows what a duel is? A duel?
A duel. There were duels.
What a duel. Duel is, you insulted me.
Oh, duels. Yeah, duels in terms of two people wanting to
You
fight
insulted
one
me.
another. Okay, yeah.
I will stand up for my honor. I throw my gauntlet down, and you take it. Now we are going to kill each other.
That's right. Fight to the death.
To the left. And I'm going to stand there erect like a gentleman and wait for your shot. If your shot fails, then it'll be my chance.
Hamilton did that. And worse.
Now, this is Mesiras Nefesh, right? This is Klipa Mesiras Nefesh. Can't be any from lower than that. He gave his life up for personal honor. Because you lost sense what his life stands, where his life comes from. To him, his life is his own presence in the world. That's what it is. But idiot, you were brought into this world as a creator. It doesn't belong to you. You see, this numbers we're talking about is a completely different realm. To put it in such a simplicity, oh, that's what he wants because that's it. Then it's not a challenge. This is completely strange to the show. It's a Mesiras Nefesh, is truly Mesiras Nefesh. A real challenge. He doesn't want it by any means. Like I told you the story, I know what the schar in Yisurim is. But I don't want the Yisurim, I don't want the schar. You understand? One moment in Torah mitzvahs in this world is superior to all the experience of the Haba. I'm not ready to give that up. Okay, I hope I put this to rest. So Mesiras Nefesh is a real Mesiras Nefesh. Where does the neshama conjure up the strength for Mesiras Nefesh? It is not within the level of its own experience. It is not. It is that in this neshama, in its worldly experience, there is an element that is provided to it from a completely superior source. And the neshama recognizes it. And the neshama is completely imbued and embraced by it. It's elevated completely from its own mitzias. And this is where there's Mesiras Nefesh. Mesiras Nefesh in the times at this moment, I am not in the world. let me put it in very clear terms. In Jewish life, there are, excuse me, we have 613 mitzvahs. V'chai b'hem, the Torah mitzvahs and chai b'hem mitzvahs, what you live with. Every moment of the day, there's a mitzvah to live. The source and the core, the central theme of all the mitzvahs is Avodas Hashem. The recognition of Hashem's presence in front of you all the time. You see Hashem will make this of it. even though it's a Vish Hashem Hashem Negeson, I press Hashem in front of myself and I'm conscious of it. At the same time, also conscious of my duty in the world. And in order to do my duty, the Rebbe once explained, in order to do a very simple thing, the Kohen Gadol has to pour the oil into the menorah, or the moil has to make a meal. All these things. At this moment, you have to focus in on this action, even though you know the significance of this action. And the significance of this action is what brings you to make this action, what gives you the strength to do it. But unless at that moment you have to completely focus out of that and focus on the action itself. This is Avodas Hashem. Kiddush Hashem is when you are focused on that inyan that you are with Hashem, not on what your mission in life is, a mission to the world, none of that. Kiddush Hashem is present to Hashem exclusively, there's nothing else. To be able to live and to exist and to orient yourself at that level, that all there is the Rebbe, that is a gift from the mind. It's not something the Neshama contains in itself. Like we said, lo yeheim v'lo yischarem. Tzaddikim Gurus said lo yeheim v'lo yischarem. So therefore, Mesiras Nefesh is a super quality in himself, to the extent that it cannot even be, so to speak, correlated and explained how the Neshama has that. Neshama doesn't have it. Neshama has a superior quality, something that is superior to Neshama, that enables it to do Mesiras Nefesh. And this superior quality, the Rebbe says, okay, so let's start inside. And the time we're going to start from the line against the Yisrael, we'll go straight through quickly. We already discussed. The Avo Mesoteres that is present in every Yid, behelem, in an extremely subtle manner. He hardly recognizes it as present. And yet, underneath the surface, there is that Ahava. And this Ahava is something which is talking to him about to be incorporated and to cleave to Elokus, to Hashem. Not to orient himself with my mitzvahs, what I'm doing, but to be part of the course. This is called Avo Mesoteres. And we can really understand why it's Musteres, why it's hidden, because it cannot be identifiable by Seichel. And here is an important connection over here. According to this principle of the Avo Mesoteres, what's contained behelem beneath the surface on an essential level in the neshama, yesh bechira b'kolachem b'Yisrael. There is bechira, there is a choice. Bechira means the ability, the self-orientation in every Yid, to bring it forth, to bring this Av forth, to full regalia, to full expression. Mehastilo, bring it out from being hidden, from being under the surface, beneath the surface. Sheyoir, okay, here are the words I'm trying to read. Sheyoir, that these should then be cognizable, recognizable. Gam besichlo yumoicha, even in his seichel. His seichel is it's overwhelming thing, completely overwhelming to his seichel. Ahava musataris, ahava to a lukus is overwhelming to the seichel. Seichel has no means of grasping it, but the expression, I can't wrap my head, my mind around it. And yet he's capable of bringing it forth. It should be besichlo, the seichel recognizes it. And then from the seichel comes in moichai. We already discussed the difference. Moyach means the physical receptacle of the seichel. Moyach is an extremely sensitive organ, but it's still an organ. And even this organ will also recognize the sound. And then furthermore, it comes down the libo in his heart. The heart truly is self-oriented.